Everybody, things are moving so fast. The events and the information that's coming out at the moment in regards to Brexit. So I'm just going to share a couple of items of interest. First of all is this letter that's been written by Mary Cray MP, and hats off to her and thank you and well done for this. But I'm just going to read it out because the writing's really small. Dear Sir Mark, I am writing to object to the government's advertising campaign Get Ready for Brexit, which was launched today, Monday 3rd September, and to ask that you consider its immediate suspension. It is clear that the Prime Minister has been preparing for a no-deal Brexit general election since entering Downing Street. The dates for this election have been briefed by Number 10 to the press as variously early November, 17th of October, and tonight by The Guardian as 14th of October. The general principles governing communication activities during the general election period, as set out in the 2015 guidance, is to do everything possible to avoid competition with parliamentary candidates for the attention of the public. Special care must be taken during the course of an election, since material produced with complete impartiality, as standard, which I argue has not been met for the Get Ready for Brexit campaign, may excite criticism during an election period. The Conservative Party will use the Get Ready for Brexit campaign during any general election to support their party position that it has prepared for a no-deal Brexit with a minimum of adverse consequences. All other opposition parties will argue the opposite is true. This is a breach of public law, which states that the government may only spend public money for public purposes, not for political purposes. As such, it is an improper purpose as set out in public law. The sheer amount that is being spent, £114 million, the biggest advertising campaign since the Second World War, also points to its improper political purpose. There is no benefit which could possibly accrue to the public which is proportionate to the amount of money being spent. Last week's events, where a small group of advisers bounced the Queen into proroguing Parliament without consulting the Speaker, the Cabinet or any political parties, have already broken the conventions of Cabinet accountability and constitutional propriety. It is clear that a no-deal Brexit election has been planned throughout the summer. The Get Ready for Brexit campaign is clearly intended to provide a publicly funded drumbeat to a highly political, partisan no-deal Brexit, which has not been approved either by Parliament or by the British people. The campaign is in breach of the pre-election purdah rules, which, although not set out in statute, are governed by convention, based largely on the Civil Service Code. The 2015 guidance states that civil servants must be particularly careful not to become involved in a partisan way in election issues. Statements which refer to the future intentions of the government should not be handled by a department but by the relevant party. The guidance also advises that new advertising campaigns should in general be postponed. I believe that your civil service has failed that impartiality test with this campaign. The production of a video under the Number 10 banner, which was distributed on social media on 16th of August, was, I believe, the first misuse of taxpayers' money for improper party political objectives. I hereby request that it is removed from all government websites and that all Facebook, Twitter and other social media advertisements are suspended. I would be grateful if, in your reply, you could detail how much the video cost to make, the company or person that produced it, and how much has been spent on its dissemination. Can you confirm whether you or the propriety and ethics team in the Cabinet Office were consulted either about the video or the Get Ready for Brexit campaign? As the ultimate custodian of civil service conventions, I therefore request that you take all steps to pause this government-funded propaganda so that any allegations of civil service impropriety and improper purpose by you or your officials in this matter can be avoided in any future court or inquiry proceedings. Please be aware, I have already consulted legal counsel on this issue and reserve my right to take further action should a satisfactory reply not be forthcoming within 48 hours. I shall be releasing this statement to the press as a matter of public interest. Yours sincerely, Mary Cray, Labour MP for Wakefield. Absolutely spot on, and hats off to Mary Cray. It is so heartening to see Britain's MPs finally standing up for what is right. I think our whole nation has been in some kind of sleep and slumber, and this Brexit horror has taken many people by surprise. And I think what's been most difficult for people is to realise the full horror of it, of what they are threatening, and how they can just sit and tell barefaced, blatant lies. And, you know, for example, this idea, Michael Gove saying people will get the food that they need, and the idea that it won't hit fresh food is categorically untrue. Categorically untrue. And, you know, when you put that in the context of what Mary Cray's written here, and this whole get ready for Brexit campaign, we understand it is £114 million spent on a pack of lies. Money that should have been feeding our children has been spent to promote a pack of lies on behalf of a government that has decided to ignore the democratic process of Parliament. And I am really sick and tired of hearing people going on about I should say the Bremoners, the hardcore Bremoners that still are not yet convinced. And it's constant mantra of, oh, but it's you people, it's you people, the Remainers, who are ignoring the democratic choice of the British people. We voted Brexit. I have to inform you that the referendum was fraudulent from start to finish. It was fraudulent. It was full of lies. It used all kinds of actually criminal tactics. It was funded even by laundered money. I mean, the list is endless. And I'll say one thing: if that level of fraud and crime had happened on behalf of the Remain vote, well, we would never have heard the last of it. And I think actually the people who did vote to stay in the EU have been very, very, very patient and very tolerant. And you know, the lid is literally blown now. We've really had enough, and we do realise finally that, you know, there is something else. There's a hidden agenda behind all this, and we are talking about fascism. We are talking about a police state, martial law, this Operation Yellowhammer. You know, now, well, they were going to publish a watered down version of it to the public, but now they've decided not even to publish that, because apparently it would still alarm the UK public. Even a watered down version will alarm the UK public. And yet, meanwhile, Boris Johnson and crew are there with £114 million of public money being spent to further promote even more lies. You know, he had his bus during Brexit with a pack of lies blazoned across it, and now here he is actually sitting at number 10 and commandeering our civil service to basically break the rules, the purder rules. I'm sorry, you know, but that's what criminals do. They involve everybody in their crimes and criminal activities. And, you know, while they hope now to avoid EU tax regulations that will uncover all their crimes and fraud and tax dodges that they are truly terrified of, you know, as soon as Brexit comes, here we go, deregulate the banks. It's time, that is what they want to do, you know, this is the financial times. It's going to be fun for all, isn't it? It is literally going to be Britain, the people, literally queuing up to buy our meagre rations, and goodness knows what prices, how high the prices are going to go, while the pound in our pocket is falling like nobody's business, and struggling to even to get medicines. And but meanwhile they're all going to have a riot, aren't they? It's no wonder they were all stood at number 10 today drinking champagne. It's absolutely outrageous and very, very dangerous. We are in very dangerous times, and people need to understand there is nothing these criminals will not do to stay in power, to keep their wealth. They will watch children starve. We know that they will do it. It's his party sold weapons to Saudi Arabia, even knowing what they are doing to the children there, the suffering that is happening there. And if they can do, as I've always said, if they can do it to them, they can do it to us. We are nothing to them. We are stock. Okay, so I'm sorry. I feel very emotional because I feel our country is... People are scared. People are scared, and they have a right to be scared. We have a right to be scared when we have a government in power that has just blatantly sat there and said they are prepared to break the law. And that is why I do not trust them. That is why, even though many people are speaking out against it, I feel we do need an immediate general election. We need to remove this tyranny from power before they do any more damage as a matter of national security. So thank you for taking time to listen, and big love and hats off to the British people and all the MPs who stood up and who are now standing by what is right.